Hi everyone, I'm Hallie. Welcome to Ledger and Lace. Today we're going to make some pen boards. I use these for several different purposes. One is as a bookmark for any nonfiction book I'm reading, to make notes or take notes, and so I'll show you what that looks like. So this month this is one of the books I'm reading for Jane Austen, July. It's a bookmark. And it also has my page flags so that I can color code for different things. And then I have my notes here. This is made with a kind of washable craft paper or paper leather. There's different manufacturers who make this, but I typically have a big loop so that I can hold at least a highlighter and then something I can write notes with. And then the back has just old school construction paper because I'm not using like heavy duty fountain pens or anything like that in here. So I'm not having to worry about smudged ink as much as I would in some of my other notebooks. So that's what I have for this notebook. And I'm usually reading more than one book at a time, so I have several of these. And then when I finish with a book, I just, take this and use it with my next book. So there's that. This is fiction, of course, but if I'm taking a bunch of notes to do a video, then I'm also doing page flags and notes and things like that. Blue for me is if I want to page flag to make a place mark for a quote. So this is also one of the same sort of thing, but because I'm not doing much writing or like I don't need anything where I'm worried about the ink smudging, this is just a placemat that I've used from the Dollar Tree, and I've cut it to size. The other book I was reading was more this size, but it doesn't matter because it's a bookmark, so you can just, use it as a bookmark. And again, with the paper leather. And so there's that one. And then this is, I think, probably one of the first ones I did. This is laminated parchment paper, and I had my page flags and my sticky notes and stuff. And this was for morning pages. Again, I have some paper leather here, and then there is the back. And this is the heavy-duty blotting paper because I was using fountain pens and dip pens, and, you need heavier absorbent blotting paper for that. So there's that. And then this is actual official blotting paper. This is by Auden, and I got it from Goulet Pens, and but it's not all that big. I mean, it's good for stationery or whatever, but if you're, churning out morning pages of page after page and stuff like that, it's not that big. So that's actual blotting paper. And I'll show you a couple more before I show you what I use. So this is also well used construction paper that I just folded in half. I think this is 2 pages that I attached to some cardstock just to make it sturdier. So there's that. And then this was for a smaller notebook. And again, I needed something that was going to be absorbent, again with paper leather. And then there's the other side. I don't need to put page flags on here because it's a different purpose. And so that's the other thing is you have to decide, okay, well, what do I need this to do? Am I going to be writing where I'm going to have smudgy ink from rollerballs or fountain pens, or does it even matter? If I'm just using highlighters, then it doesn't really matter, or pencils, it doesn't matter if I have blotter paper or not. So there's that. So yeah, and this I sewed versus just using double-sided sticky tape. And then this is another one, same sort of blotter paper, but I used elastic. And this is, you can use different sizes of elastic as well. So let me show you what I use for the blotter paper though, because this is much more cost effective than the Papier de France from J. Herbin. And I use this. So, and I'll have a link down in the description box for where I get this off of Amazon. It looks like couch sheets, but it's actually pronounced couch. See? Couch. And this is used in like flower pressing or for paper making. So this is what I use. And so I'm going to do a couple different kinds, a couple different options of how to make these. And again, depending on what purpose you have for them. So the first one I'm going to do is for my Jane Austen July journal. And I'm going to use, instead of the paper leather for this one, I am going to use this. So I get these are Tyvek envelopes. You can if you get they have air mailers or from the post office. If you get Tyvek envelopes, you can repurpose those, but just in case you don't have those, I get these. These are usually on sale for a couple bucks at the end of the school season at Walmart. So I think that's where I got these. Anyway, so this is what I use, and I'll show you how I'm going to do this. So let me put this up here. Okay. So, and I don't need that. All right. So this is cardstock from leftover cardstock from my journal. And so what I'm doing is I've already applied the sticky tape, double-sided. This is book binding tape. And this is the Tyvek. I went ahead, because it's so, hello, I'm white. I went ahead and just spritzed it with some alcohol sprays just to give it a little bit of a tint. And not so bright white. And I don't measure like specific, like precisely when I'm cutting this. I just cut around so that it doesn't matter how I put, if it's a little wonky, it's okay. So that's what I'm gonna do, is just pull this. Well, and now if I were trying to be precise with this and needing to make sure that it was precise against the edge, I would do this first and then take these off. But since I'm not having to be so precise, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just take it off. That's what she said. Okay. And there was a side I liked. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. Now, the other thing is with the paper, let me show you. Let me get this. All right. So, you have how the paper bends. So I have done it with the easier bend, with the paper grain. So this is against the paper grain and it's a little springy, like boing. And then this is not as springy. So you want to go with the grain when you're doing this. But what the Tyvek is doing is it's strengthening this. This is just printed on cardstock. It could last for a while, but meh, this just makes it a little stronger. So now I'm going to cut this. And then I have this here because it's just going to fit, I just need it to fit like so. And I don't need to put page flags or anything else. It's just a piece of blotter paper, and that's all I need. So it doesn't matter if this is like, leather or anything like that. So now what I'm going to do is I could do it like that so that it's like on either side, or I could secure it here and then secure it here. Either way, or if I wanted to be super junk journaly and stuff, I could just, you know, sew it along there, but I am going to just tape. So I'm going to do tape on either side like that. So, and I'll show you my scissors because I like these scissors. They don't get gummed up because they are non-stick scissors, which I think they're made, they have like a Teflon coating on them. So they are Nicole scissors. And this, like so. All right, there's that. And then, now the reason I do, you could, if you want, like if you're doing just ballpoints or, you know, like lightweight type pens, you don't have to have, I like to have my, well, I'll show you in a minute. I like to have my loops like long like this so that if I'm using rollerball like this, and I'm sticking it into my notebook, then it doesn't really matter. Like if I write on this side or this side, now that doesn't matter so much because this is blotter paper on both sides. But if I had a different kind of surface on one side, then I can just slip it over and then, you know, it's like this, if that makes sense. Whereas if I just have a small loop, then I'm a little bit more limited about how I do that. So, okay, so there's that one. So you don't need anything fancy. Use the Tyvek and some cardstock. Oh, I forgot to mention, I put about 3 layers of matte varnish on here just to give it a little bit of a protective coating. So, okay, so there's that one. Now, washable craft paper. And I would have a link to this, but you can't get it anymore. I went to Amazon to, like, you know, get the link and stuff, and it's not available anymore, and it says that they don't know when it's going to be. But if you Google washable craft paper or paper leather, sometimes it's vegan. It just depends on where in the world you are. Silhouette makes this. What I liked about this particular one was it's smooth on both sides. And it's not as thick as some of the other ones. But, you know, you get what you can. So this is, let me move that out of the way. All right. This is a notebook that I made for a friend, Paula, no last name, for the purpose of the internet. Here's the inside. And so we're going to use a piece of paper leather. And this is going to be the board. And then here's a pocket, and I did, oh, you know what? Let me show you this. Just in case you're making a notebook and you don't want to print outlines, what you can do is, this is 28-pound legal size paper. And what you can do is just have a blank notebook and print out lines and then make this part of the bookmark or the page, you know, the book board. And then you can, you know, just go like that and you can see the lines underneath. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but anyway, so that's another way to do it. So let us set this aside. And, oh, okay, so paper leather, again, it has a grain. So you want the less springy. So that's what I did. I went with the grain. Okay. And I've already, for time's sake, I went ahead and did the tape. So let us, now with this, I really do want to be careful about how I'm putting it on the back. Although this isn't as hard with, because this is laminated. So, let's see. I'm just going to put it and line it up so that it lines up. Okay. And then we remove the other sticky part. And feel free to fast forward through this part because I want to be careful on how I'm doing it. And okay, so there we go. There's the back. And I'll show you the reason I picked the Cooch paper is because these are the pens that I'm including, and these are the G2 Premium Rollerball. And if you want that like fountain pen look without all the fountain pen accoutrement and stuff, then this is a good alternative. And I love that there's different colors and stuff. So, okay, so there's that. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see, how am I doing this? Oh, right. Okay. So I'm not going to go like that on this one because I want the benefit of the full Cooch paper on the other side. So what I'm doing is we're just going to stick this together. And then we're gonna stick this on here, like so. You know what? Actually, I think my original plan was to put it in between here. So it was, and I don't think that is salvageable. So now I need to mess up the graphic here or here. I think I'll mess up the I like the graphic on the front. So now we'll do it this way so that I can line it up like so. Okay. So again, if my friend Paula needs it on this side, there it's like that. But if she finishes writing on this side, then she can flip it around like so. Okay, so that is it. Let me know if you have any questions. I think, oh, one more thing I forgot until I remembered. This is one of those, you know, placemats from Dollar Tree. You can see where I use this right here as a little pen loop. So that's another option, is you can use those. And what's cool about this is if you want a sort of canvasy look, you can just fold it like that and have it like that. So, okay, I think that's it for pen loops. I will see you in the next video. Bye.